Hey again, this is Andy from potatoesandpearls.com, and I've never made biscuits before from scratch. I've always used the can or bought biscuits from Red Lobster or just wherever I could get biscuits. So during this time of social isolation, separation, being away from people locked in my house, I decided I was going to try to make biscuits from scratch. So I did some research, I did a lot of reading of recipes, and I decided for my first time I am going to make biscuits using baking powder. So this recipe does not have yeast. I also mix my biscuits I mix the dough in a bread maker. So I'm going to show you what I do for that. And I'm filming this after I already made it and the biscuits turn out really good. So stay tuned for my recipe and we'll get into it right after this. So I thought it would be a good idea to have the dough mixed in my bread maker so it gets evenly mixed and it's not me making a giant mess on my countertop. So I'm putting in 3 cups of flour, and I am so used to making breads with yeast that I just automatically spread out the flour in the tin. You most likely don't need to do this, but I just do it, and I'm just like, this was dumb, but it's just habit from making other types of breads. I'm putting in a teaspoon of salt, and I am putting in 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I read a lot of different recipes when looking at this, and being in America, there are biscuits out here that are made with yeast, but I wanted to stick to like a baking powder biscuit, like the basic of biscuit. I am putting in a tablespoon of honey. Some people put in sugar. I wanted to try something different because I'm trapped in the house, so this is like the best time to test things. So I put in honey, and that's 6 tablespoons of butter. The butter thing that I cut them from is shaped weird, so even though it looks like 4, it's a measurement of 6. And I'm using 1 cup of cold milk. I keep almond milk in my house, and I rarely keep regular milk unless I know I'm going to use it. And I decided to make biscuits last minute, so we're using almond milk. But me in the future knows that it tasted just fine. And so that was me shutting the bread maker. My bread maker has a function for making dough. So I just pressed the dough button, and this is what it gave me. It gave me biscuit dough, which I was really excited about because I've literally only made yeast products in my bread maker. So I saw in a lot of different things I looked at and watched that people would kind of spread out the dough and then they would fold it over to kind of get some layers or a break in the biscuit, so it made it like, easy to break apart for the place to put, like if you're putting butter or jam or jelly or whatever. So I tried to smooth out the dough and then fold it into some type of layer. So I'm going to use a small measuring cup to cut out my biscuits. I realized I didn't have a circle cutter to cut biscuits, so I have to add that to the list. But the cup measure worked perfectly fine, so I was able to cut out about the same amount of dough every time and place them evenly on the baking sheet. So once I got all of my biscuit cutouts on the baking sheet, I went ahead and put the biscuits in the oven. I did not preheat the oven because on some of the recipes I read don't preheat the oven. So I was like, well, I just won't. And I put it in on 425 for about 15 to 20 minutes. I think mine was closer to the 20-minute side. And this is what they look like when they came out. They were nice and like that perfect amount of crispy on the outside, but they were so nice and like, I don't want to say gooey, but they were so soft on the inside. They were done, like completely done, but just the texture of it was so good. I ate them for a few days with like butter on them. The folding technique worked out really well because I was able to like easily break it apart, to put butter in the middle. I didn't have to use a knife, and this is how I'm gonna make biscuits from now on. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that subscribe button, and let me know if you want to see more videos of first time cookings like this. I mean, I'm trapped in the house, so I have a lot of time to try a lot of things. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.